Uva Ursi, beautiful, rich, dark green leaves that have beautiful red berries on them. Most known for kidneys and bladder health and just overall urinary tract health. It has quite an astringent property to it. It's a natural diuretic, and it is usually given to people who have lower back discomfort or pain because sometimes that goes away when you pay attention to your kidneys. So that's something that's really good to focus on this plant, Uva Ursi, is what's happening in the kidneys, urinary tract, and even all the way down to the reproductive organs. Let's talk about adrenal glands. They sit right on top of the kidneys. And we have this adrenal exhaustion that seems to be happening in society, where we burn the candle at both ends, where we really wear ourselves out by making ourselves move faster with energy drinks or whatever, and it kind of burns us out. And that's kind of our lifestyle. It's what we do sometimes, not all of us, and some worse than others, but eventually the adrenal glands are going to give out if we don't feed them. And this is a really, really great herb that helps feed and nourish the adrenal glands. This is a winter hardy plant that is very drought tolerant. It is low growing, kind of glossy leaved evergreen shrub. It's found in pine woods and sandy, gravelly soils. It's a beautiful plant. Completely beckons you to it because it's got these heart-shaped type leaves with it. It is very slow growing. It can be like a ground cover, and they use it a lot for protections from erosion from slopes and hillsides in some parts of the world. The parts that we use medicinally are the leaves that are collected usually in September or October and after the morning dew has dried. Otherwise your leaves will mold. There's a bitter type of taste and astringent type of taste, and the older leaves sometimes tend to be more bitter than the younger leaves, but both of them are great for medicinal purposes, and it doesn't really matter. Any of the leaves work really well for really helping to rebuild and nourish the urinary tract. There's a lot of history with this plant. Clear back in the 1300s, Marco Polo reported that the Chinese were using this herb as a diuretic and to help treat urinary and kidney problems and symptoms associated with that. Uva Ursi is an ancient astringent, and it was little used in Europe until the 13th century when it was mentioned in the Welsh herbal, and it was mentioned as a powerful astringent. In the 1700s, it was used and documented as a treatment for nerve disorders, and written about in other places all throughout Berlin, and even clear up into the mid-1900s and the first half of the 20th century. The American eclectic physicians, they used botanical remedies as part of their therapies, and so they often recommended Uva Ursi for relaxation of the urinary tract and also for pain and mucus or bloody secretions in the urinary tract. Native Americans, of course, used Uva Ursi as a drug to treat inflammations of the urinary tract and especially for cystitis. They mixed Uva Ursi leaves with tobacco and called it, see if I can Kinka-Nick. They smoked it in a sacred pipe and burned it. The smoke was said to carry their prayers to the Great Spirit. The smoke was also used for earaches, where you would literally inhale the smoke and then blow it in the ear of the person who had earache. By the way, this does work. The leaves were chewed to suppress thirst, and also leaf tea was used for sore throat, for sore gums, for canker sores, and also as a mouthwash. The tea was used as a diuretic type tonic and an antiseptic. It has astringent qualities that help tighten up and heal the urinary tract. It can help with kidney stone symptoms, and of course they used it for cystitis, the tea specifically. The Cheyenne used the tea as a diuretic to help with congested kidneys and back spasms, and even it comes in as back pain, clear back then. The Cherokee Nation used Uva Ursi to treat uterine dropsy, edema, and urinary diseases. It was used throughout many other tribes, including the stems and the leaves were used as a tonic and urinary aid. The moistened leaves were rubbed on the back for actual pain relief, used topically, and they would drink the tea to treat venereal diseases. The entire plant was used to make an infusion for the hair, for dandruff, for any scalp issues, or to clean and heal skin sores. You can make a poultice paste made with the ground up leaves and stems and apply it to sores, cuts, burns, boils, and pimples. Remember, it's an astringent. It pulls things out and also helps accelerate healing in the body. It can be used as a salve for rashes, for boils, for burns, for in skin sores, and also the berries can be eaten raw or cooked for just their nutritional content. In large quantities, it also has a laxative property to it, so helps you go to the bathroom. The leaves and fruit were mixed with fat and given to children for diarrhea. And also, Uva Ursi was prescribed for urinary infections until sulfa drugs came out for their uses in the 1940s. And this wisdom just kind of went away. In Germany, it was approved as a urinary antiseptic used to be prescribed there. Uva Ursi gently cleanses and nourishes the urinary tract. That's what it's famous for. That's what it does. It has properties in it that really do accelerate healing within the body and can help you move forward in healing, especially this part of the body. It has a natural diuretic action that is in it, and also is very high in tannic acids, and that's what gives it that incredible astringent property to it. You can even make it into a tea and use it topically for just an astringent. It can help heal and proliferate new cell growth within the bladder and membranes. These are some of the things that we know, and some studies have shown this, and the history shows it. Sometimes the inside of the bladder gets especially raw, and if you drink a lot of toxic liquids or take a lot of chemicals or chemicals into your body, Uva Ursi can help your body rebuild and strengthen the bladder tissues. We have a lot of toxins, even from the chlorine that's in the water to the fluoride in the water. It just wreaks havoc on our urinary tract. And this is one incredibly nourishing plant for that. It strengthens and tones the mucous membranes of the urinary passages. This plant can help your body balance the pH of a highly acidic urine that a lot of people have. It can help soothe inflammation. It can help decrease excessive mucus discharge in the body. It has that natural anti-infectious property, antiseptic type property for the kidneys and the bladder. And it's shown to work in all different types of diseases for the urinary tract area, all kinds. I mean, you can just look up lists and lists of them online. As a diuretic, it stimulates, it helps the body actually stimulate and feed the kidneys and the bladder to help increase the flow of urine, helping the body get rid of stones, mucus infection, excess toxins in the body. So this is an herb that you would start out using gradually and gently. You don't want to jump in taking lots of Uva Ursi. You want to take small amounts, a quarter of a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon at a time. Start getting your body used to these astringent properties and like kind of wringing out all the tissues, getting those toxins that are kind of stagnant in the body out. It can help the body stimulate kidney activity as a tonic, and it has qualities to help strengthen weak kidneys and even bladder walls, and even the bladder or even the sphincter muscle. Anything, it can help tighten everything else. Tighten up, including uterus. It can cause uterine contractions, which is not good for pregnant women, but what is really great for most other women because it tightens things up and keeps things fresh and clean in the uterus and things moving forward. It can also help alleviate bedwetting problems and incontinence. Terrific. And it is naturally helps with blood sugar, settling down the blood sugar and helping to wash out excess sugar in the blood. And so if you eat a lot of sugar and stuff, this is a great thing to help move it through your body. It is known for infection, of course, but research also confirms that it has strong antimicrobial activity, and including against E. coli and staph, which is really great to know. It's been used for sexually transmitted disease to help with those symptoms, and also Uva Ursi bath can help you soothe inflammation, skin infections, and even soothe hemorrhoids, even by making a tea out of it and putting it topically on hemorrhoids. It naturally helps with anti-inflammatory issues or inflammatory issues in the body. There's more than a dozen anti-inflammatory and antiseptic compounds that help to rid the body of symptoms associated with inflammation and arthritis type symptoms kind of throughout the whole body. It's a body tonic where it cleanses the blood, helps cleanse and reinforce the spleen, tonic for weakened liver and glands, and also a digestive stimulant and helping the body to digest food and nutrients better in the body. Part of this plant is working with nourishing the reproductive system. It's found to be effective in prostate remedies. It's good for postpartum to help the body ward off infections or things like that. We like to use it with golden seal root and echinacea, some of those others for that. And it can be used as a sit bath with comfrey and golden seal and plantain, a really great sit bath for after birth trauma for the perineum. The tea is also can be used as a douche for vaginal infections. And oftentimes you use a tea of Uva Ursi and golden seal and some water in the little peri bottles that new moms rinse off with, and keeping that birthing area really clean as your body goes back to normal and keeping those tissues really tight and not opening up to lots of infection. It's a great little trick to use, especially for new moms. Now, taken internally in large amounts, Uva Ursi can stimulate the uterus to contract. And so, of course, it's great for hastening labor and great for bringing on labor, but only after you've gone past your due date. It's really not recommended for pregnant women, and they should be very, very cautious about using it at all. It can cause abortion. It completely pulls down the body and can cause the miscarriage. And so you need to make sure that that is something that's not taken by pregnant women. But wonderful. Don't be afraid of it. Everybody else, even in between babies, and helping to nourish those reproductive organs, because they need fed also. So how do you take Uva Ursi? You can take it in powdered. It can be used as a tea, as a wash for hemorrhoids or even for any wounds. It can be used as a douche and for uterine infections and postpartum. It can be used as an herbal bath. You can take a clean stocking and put it in there and tie the end of it and put it in the bath in a hot tub of water, and you make yourself a little sitz bath and tea. It's very astringent, pulls the body together. I love to do that, and then come out and use coconut oil, because the coconut oil goes right in, and then you don't feel all tight but you feel really toned, and it's a really great for rejuvenating. It's a great one for kids. It's a great little bath to use for elderly also, or just when you want to push off a day and you just want to take a bath. This is a great one. And any infections, you can use that tea. You're making a tea in the bathtub and you're using it, and you can soak cloth in it and put it in infected areas. And definitely drinking it is wonderful. Hot tea is a great way to go to. I hope you explore this great herb and let it work its wonder in your life.